And today's topic is natural or synthetic, or natural medicine, what's natural and what isn't. So it's a really interesting topic. And by the way, welcome along, you thinkers. Now, I know there's green thinkers, alternative thinkers, or traditional thinkers, but I just think that if you're looking at traditional or natural healing or medicine, then I would call you a thinker, because I think a lot of us, a large percentage of society doesn't think about it at all. They just follow along with, I guess, what you'd call the mainstream narrative, which is wait till you get sick, rush into the doctor, get a prescription, and that's the answer to everything. And that's really not thinking. So if you're watching this broadcast, if you're watching this channel, then I would call you a thinker. And thinking outside the box is really what makes you, sets you apart and gives you the potential to really make a difference and impact in your own health. So today what I'm going to talk about is what is really natural, because there's a lot of, I guess, modalities of natural medicine, and there's a lot of different ways of practicing natural medicine. But some of these things aren't actually natural. And in fact, they can be quite toxic. So I'm going to share a page with you today and talk it through. And you'll probably find some really interesting information that you didn't know before. I certainly learned a few things by doing the research for this and putting this together. And by the way, there's a QR code up in the corner just behind me here that you can scan with your phone. That'll take you to the full page that we're sharing today. So let me just share my screen and we'll have a look at this topic. So traditional medicine around the world, in all cultures and societies and even civilizations, has been plant-based. And even today, the pharmaceutical industry is searching for new drugs in the plant kingdom. And 25% of new drugs do come from discoveries in the plant kingdom. And the pharmaceutical industry originated from herbal medicine or plant-based medicine. And so that's the first point of interest, is what is really natural? Well, it comes from the plant kingdom. So let's just have a little bit of a look through at what you'd call truly natural. So I would say if something's natural, then it occurs naturally. In other words, it's not something that's man-made or something that we've put together or synthesized in a lab. So I see a lot of people that come into my clinic with what you would call synthetic supplements. And a lot of these are being prescribed by naturopaths. Now, this is an interesting thing. And I don't want to knock naturopaths, because naturopaths do fantastic work and they do use a lot of natural supplements. But it's really important to remember that if you're using naturopathic remedies, or even if you're going to the pharmacy or the health store and looking for natural supplements, that what you're getting, if you think this is important, and I do, is it really natural? And that means it will work with your body chemistry, your biochemistry, naturally, and fit right in. So some naturopaths, and let's just have a little look at naturopathy. This is a very brief tip of the iceberg when it comes to what naturopathy is. But basically, they have a wide range of therapies that they use. So they do include nutrition and dietary advice, sometimes homeopathy, sometimes herbalism, and often physical therapies or body work as well. And this is not everything naturopaths do. Naturopaths are trained in a wide range of different therapies and modalities. And I wouldn't say jack of all trades, but they don't go very, very deeply into one specific area. It is a holistic view, so they do look at diet, lifestyle, the whole shooting box when it comes to diagnosis, and they do take the time to dig into things and get to the root causes, which is a very, very good practice. And they are well regulated and well trained. So you should feel safe going to a naturopath. But I just think it's a little bit deceiving. The word naturopath implies that things are natural, when in fact, they're not always natural. because a lot of these supplements are artificially produced and contain chemical components which are not natural to the human body. And we'll get to that a little bit later on as we go down. Now, the difference with plant-based medicine or herbalism, medical herbalism, is that the traditions, like I said, they go back thousands of years or millennia all over the world. And they are purely and solely based on using plant material. And this is what sets herbal medicine apart. And this is why, as a medical herbalist, I just love herbal medicine for that very reason. And there's a number of things. You get the natural components as they occur naturally in the plant kingdom, but you also get them all together. And I'll just talk about this a little bit further, is what's called synergy or the entourage effect. But let's just have a quick look at herbalism. So herbal medicine, plant-based. So a herbalist is trained in plants identification, plant chemistry or phytochemistry. So the compounds that occur in plants, and they go very deeply into this. So when I trained as a herbalist, we learn over 200 herbs. And so it's really important that we understand that herbalists really love to use plants, and that's what sets them apart. The tradition dates back thousands of years. So there's evidence, there's empirical evidence, there's anecdotal evidence, there's thousands, millions, in fact, of cases around the world. So there's a long, long history of evidence for herbal medicine. And also, what a herbalist can do is take the plants and combine them together into a formula and formulate something that's very, very personal to you. And that's also a really great thing about herbal medicine. And the fantastic thing with plants is they combine and they work together, a bit like when you make a curry or when you cook. You can put multiple plants and herbs and spices all together, and they just go together perfectly and work together and support each other. Again, the practice is self-regulated. They're well-trained. They have to do continuing professional development and so on. So you can pretty much trust most herbalists to do a very good job with you. Now, the thing we talked about before with synthetic supplements is, and this is interesting, because if you go into a health store or pharmacy and you buy a bottle of what the most common, most popular product probably is a multivitamin. So let's look at that. The multivitamins. So there are natural sources of vitamins, and we'll look at that in a minute. But let's talk about the ones that are put into most multivitamin products. Now, they're produced with synthetic raw materials. So this is really staggering when you look at some of these things. They found things that are produced, these products are produced from, include petrochemicals. So quite a few of them are petrochemical based, coal tar derivatives. And this is a little bit disturbing when you think about it. It's basically biochemical waste products that we're using to produce these vitamins. Vitamin E, vitamin D2 can be derived from these industrial sources. Vitamin B1 is noted to come from coal tar derivatives processed with harsh chemicals, including ammonia and formaldehyde. And here's another one, B12 has been linked to activated sewage sludge. So these manufacturing processes do raise eyebrows. And here's a great list. And so if you want to have a good look at this later and look at the references to this information, just scan that QR code in the corner, have a look at the page, and you can dig into this for yourself. But look at all these. These are the vitamins down the side here that you would find in your average multivitamin. And these are actually some of the chemicals and processed chemicals that are used to make these. So I don't like the look of these. I don't know if you recognize a few of these: benzene, methanol, petroleum, hydrochloric acid, ammonia. No, the list is quite staggering. Isobutyl aldehyde, formaldehyde. But you can have a look at this for yourself. So I wouldn't call these products natural, if that makes sense. Now, this is the most common of the, and you call them nutraceuticals, actually. So they're not natural medicines at all. And these compounds, these vitamins, where they do occur naturally in nature, come with a whole entourage In other words, they are surrounded by other phyto-micronutrients that support vitamin C, for example, or the vitamin Bs. They are surrounded and supported naturally by other chemicals. And of course, you don't get that in this chemically produced nutraceutical. So I'm raising a red flag here, because if you think you're having a natural product, then really have a dig into what the ingredients are, where they come from. And if they're not plant-based, they're more than likely not natural. So with natural products, we mentioned this now, you miss out with the chemically made ones, but with the natural ones, you get this synergy. But you also get bioavailability, which means it's much more available to your body to use. It's because it's naturally digested, naturally absorbed, and naturally distributed by your body biochemistry. So it's really important, isn't it, to get truly natural health products. And this is another thing I've seen. Now, you might think it's safe to use supplements, but I often see it in a clinic where people will come in and they've literally got a whole basket full, a whole bag full of supplements. And sometimes a dozen, sometimes 20, I've seen more than that they're taking on a daily basis. Now, this can cause what's called nutraceutical toxicity. So it's no different to pharmaceutical toxicity. And I should mention it, you can get toxic effect of herbs by overdosing on a particular singular herb in a high dose. And you could do the same thing by having a vast range of herbal supplements and really overdosing yourself. But it's far more likely to be a problem if you're using chemically based, unnatural, synthetic supplements. So this might be raising a red flag for you. And I hope it does make you think, because you're thinkers, right? That perhaps it might pay to look at plant-based sources. And you can, even with nutraceuticals, there are companies that are doing it around the world that are focusing more on plant-based vitamins. And that's a really good move. So to avoid this toxic side effect, look at natural, and there's evidence here of toxicity. You can look this up on the page as well. And I thought I'd just mention before we get to the end of this little session that some of the plant-based nutrients are super rich in nutrition. Now, spirulina is a great example. Seaweed is another fantastic one that gives you a broad range. Now, spirulina can give you basically every single nutrient that your body needs in one plant-based form. And you would never need to go anywhere else if you were taking a lot of spirulina. And that's why I include spirulina in our products, in our Body Tune drink that people use as an ongoing supplement. Because if you're getting spirulina daily, aloe vera is another. Aloe vera has got 200 nutrients, things like that. So there are these superfood sources. And remember, you don't just get the nutrients, but you get all the synergy that goes with it. So I'll leave it there, I think. And you can follow through and have a look at those other herbs as well when you, if you go to that page and have a look around. So let's just stop sharing. So I'd like to just close with this thought. If you are seeing a practitioner and you're getting supplements or nutrients from them, then please do ask, are they natural or are they not natural, or is there a natural alternative? And even if you're seeing your doctor, sometimes they can offer something natural as well. But I highly recommend seeing a herbalist or a medical herbalist if you really do want to go plant-based and go natural. And yeah, keep thinking, keep digging, keep researching, and keep learning, because knowledge is the most powerful tool you have when it comes to maintaining and, in fact, improving, and as you go through life, making little incremental improvements in your health. Because it doesn't have to go downhill as you get older. It can actually improve as you get older, as you learn, as you gain more knowledge and understanding of how the body works. So thanks for watching again, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Take care.